Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Hitchens Razor. Today, I can only say I'm genuinely happy to have our first guest in the show. We have three people as our first guest, which is quite an achievement, I think. I would hand over the baton to Vishnu to introduce them because they are his friends. Unfortunately, it is, but it is true. He has some friends. But Vishnu, why don't you introduce our guest to our audience?
Yes. So welcome, Elias, Tina, and JP. Welcome to the podcast. So Elias and I were flatmates in Glasgow. We studied together, and it just so happened that Elias was, the first time I met Elias, he was just randomly this dude, who was walking alone in the street at like 11 in the night. I was smoking outside oh shit, I don't know if I should be able to say my vices out, but then I just met him on the street, and then I knew him, but we didn't speak. And so I was like, yo, Elias, why are you walking up all by yourself? He's like, nah, dude, I had a shitty class, and like I finished the library, I was walking back home, and then there was this guy who was absolutely on crack who stopped me, and then he heard this random fucking junkie's life story for like 20 minutes. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like it's 11 in the bloody night, dude. It's cold and it's lonely. And then Elias like, no, I had time for that shit. And so, I remember having a laugh for like 10 minutes straight. And then how we ended up being flatmates is even crazier a story. So one of our flatmate leaves and we have room in our flat. Elias is already lodged in a very nice flat of his own, right? With a lovely mattress and all of that shit. All of us get drunk and we all convince him that, oh, fuck Elias, you need to move into the new apartment for no reason, right? He was perfectly happy in his flat, and in fact his flat was much better than our shithole. But then that's what I think, a lot of wine I think does to you. Rice wine. It was fucking. I think the Chinese spiked it with some random shit, dude. It fucked us all up. It fucked us so much that Elias actually, it fucked him so bad for the next 2 days because he was perfectly sane when he went and requested for the move between the flat, and then got his bloody mattress from the other flat as well. So
I went from having my own bathroom to sharing it
with five guys.
And,
yeah,
and Jeff.
5 guys and Jeff.
Yeah, that's the sacrifice Elias made, but it was all worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, and the best part about all the conversations that I've had about Elias, and especially, though India is in close proximity with the Middle East, we are so fucking ignorant about what goes on there, right? For us, if Elias told me, put your finger on the map of Lebanon, I would not necessarily be able to trace it. Because for us, Middle East is just one bloody thing. Like, it's just Middle East. It's there's
general area.
Yeah, it's general area. There's camels, there's oil, there's war, and there's the Taliban somewhere there, right? Like that's usually like, oh shit,
wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's wrong on so many counts. And so I thought now would be a good time to explore this with a lot more depth, with not just Elias' perspective, but also what JP thinks, what Tina thinks, because all of you have, of course, grown up there, but you've seen it through different eyes. So that's what I'm interested to listen to. So I think we start with the geography, right? Like, were all of you from Beirut? Okay, what's each of you? What was your earliest memory? What was your favorite place to look at, or like within Lebanon? And what's your earliest recollection of wherever each of you were born and raised?
Earliest recollection. I would say I was about maybe 2 years old. I remember just the general setup of the house, how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been my favorite place. And whenever I visit there, you hear a lot about the nightlife and the parties and all this beautiful beaches and stuff. But when I go there, I like to just stay at home because it's just really nice to be there. It's nice weather, nice food, and where I live, it's really beautiful view. So yeah, it's I would say that's my favorite place.
Is this in Beirut?
So where are you from? This is a also interesting question, because in Lebanon it means different things. So in Lebanon you're always tied to the village where your father was born. So even if you were born somewhere else, or if you live somewhere else your entire life. For example, we come from a village from the south of Beirut, or a town. It's actually bigger than a village. And we've lived, and I was born outside Lebanon, and we've lived our entire life in the area north of Beirut, which is considered like the Christian area, air quotes for the podcast. Which also tells you a bit about how and why the system is put in place, because people are not encouraged to move from one area to the other, and ancient tribe lords, they want to keep the population census the way it was back when they were powerful. So they don't want to reflect the reality of where people are living and working and growing now. They want them always tied back to the roots of where they used to be, so that you're not really you vote where you don't even live, which is crazy, I would say. And you're always tied with family links to back where you were born, and that's how you always
So
Vishnu?
even like in India, you have some people where you have a surname, and the surname is a connotation of the village, right, or where they came from. Is that something similar as well? So does your surname signify the place of your father's birth, or how?
For them, I think it's tough, because they have like one of the biggest last names in Lebanon, so it's spread out over.
Yeah, but actually it defines that we are Christians.
Yeah,
it defines your religion for sure,
but not the place necessarily.
Oh, so the place has a religious connotation as well attached to it.
Yeah, maybe a bit of background as well about us, at least about me. I'm not religious. I was born in a Christian house. I don't practice or believe anymore. But I think it's also not just from a religious or theological point of view, but from a political and sociological perspective, very important, because there are actually parallel societies living in Lebanon which basically don't mingle and aren't encouraged to. I don't know if it maybe it doesn't sound weird, because in India there's also like the caste system. Maybe that's a bit similar, but in Lebanon it's more based on religion and sect. Which is also another way to tie you back to your heritage, instead of your practical needs in your daily life. And I think this is also one of the reasons why the country started going to shit, because you're always looking too far ahead or too far back, but never to actually what's happening around you, which is when is the
You went straight deep, Elias. Like, you got straight to the fucking point. Like, I thought we'd talk about food and everything like that, and you were like, the country's got a shit. Like,
you asked where you're from, and this is how fucked up things are, because such a simple question is also loaded. In Lebanon.
Fair enough.
Just wondering how about Tina though? Do you have something similar?
I will go back to the first question, the first memory I have. I think it also ties up to what Elias says about religion. So what I my earliest memory is actually the where we used to play in front of the church next to my house. Like we all. We always used to play next to the church, like in front of my house, and this is the dominant memory that I have from my childhood. And where I come from is actually like 20 minutes to the middle of Lebanon, to the mountains, from the capital, and it's a bit of bigger than a village, but smaller than a city. It's a town also, and it's there's a lot of tourism, and so it's a bit more modern than where Elias comes. Elias and JP. But there's always the religious background. Like I live on a churches street,
Right.
so it's full of churches, and it's also like the Christian part of Lebanon.
JP.
Nice. Did JP? Did you grow up with Elias? Like, were you in the same household?
Yeah. Yeah, actually in the same room.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Do you have any specific recollections?
Yeah, actually I remember basically like Elias. I remember the house, and kind of it's my favorite place. So it was my favorite place. But yeah, basically that's it.
So how many of you were there in the house though?
We were 5 with our parents. So we were like 3 children. I'm the youngest.
Right.
Elias is the middle. And we have our older brother, Zahia.
Nice.
Now he lives in Canada with his wife and kid.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, so basically everyone was left out from the country because we saw us going to shit.
Yeah.
I just want to know about, before we get into the complex topics which needs to be discussed. I mean, I just wanted to know how it was for you in the childhood. Like, how was a day in your life? Say, how was the food when you wake up? What's the breakfast that you eat, and what's for lunch?
Yeah, well, actually, our economic status was, in a way, was good.
Yeah.
So, and like Lebanon is very small, so you can basically import everything around. It's like 10,000 square meters. So basically, food was very diverse in a way. So sometimes, like, we would have breakfast as eggs. Sometimes we would have something sweet,
Right.
like knefe, if you know the knefe.
Knafe, is that cheesy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's for breakfast? Damn, dude, I need to move to
Super
Lebanon.
heavy.
Yeah.
I tried that when I went to Doha. You have that pistachio on top, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very nice, yeah.
And the sugar syrup.
Damn,
Oh, yes.
that's the...
Yeah, actually, there was one place in Lebanon that used to make it inside a chocolate croissant.
What?
Nice. Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So I see the French connection there. Do you have croissants and everything for breakfast as well?
Yeah. Actually, French is our second language
Right.
because we were on a mandate from the French
Yes,
government.
Yeah.
Basically a colony.
Yeah.
You could say. And we also
So-
went to French missionary schools.
Right.
All of you are multilingual?
So we studied French.
All of you are multilingual, or did it happen? Is Tina
Yeah.
multilingual as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So
It's very common. Like
Basically
I would
standard,
say,
I would say.
80%
in
of
public
the schools.
Oh, wow.
You would learn everything in French.
so
Yeah.
French, Arabic, and then English.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 80% of Lebanon is fluent in all of these three languages.
In 3 languages. Yeah, because there are some schools, for example, my cousins, where they learned at a Quaker school.
Okay.
Right.
Quakers, so an English school, and they didn't get French, so
Oh, right.
they only learned English.
Right. So the medium of instruction in all of the subjects, what would that be? Like, if you were to study
French.
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 Right? Nice.
Like history of Lebanon was in Arabic, geography of Lebanon was in Arabic, but like math, chemistry, physics,
Yeah.
that's all in French.
Oh, okay.
And we also studied the French baccalaureate, so we also studied the French history, and we made like French exams that were imported from France, and we get like a French diploma.
Oh, damn.
So basically, you're like
Certified in France.
you're groomed since childhood to fit in better in Europe than in your own country.
Yeah, so that's quite interesting, right? Because whenever I watch a documentary or listen to any sort of commentary on Lebanon, the first thing that they start with was that you know, the grueling, harsh place that was the Middle East. Lebanon was considered like the Paris of the Middle East. It was that good a city, like with the just the architecture, the culture, the views, and everything. And do you think that still holds good after whatever the country's been through? Do you think that no?
I mean,
I think partly, yeah, because like this is partly because of geography. Like we are the only country in the Middle East that doesn't have a desert. So I think it still holds that title because of like on the level of geography. But
And the level of development, like we are way behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
There are cities like Dubai, Qatar,
Exactly.
Abu Dhabi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I digress. Back to food. What for lunch?
Yes.
Yeah, for lunch we would usually have like my mom would probably cook something. Yeah, usually on Fridays we wouldn't eat meat. That's also like a specialty of the region. Maybe they it's a Christian thing.
Right.
And yeah, mostly like Lebanese dishes, you know, stews or
With rice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Damn,
something,
dude, that's I didn't know
I
that.
know, there's a lot of recipes. كفتة بطاطا كبة بالصينية.
What's it? Is it Lebanese bread?
No.
No, so كفتة بطاطا is just kafta. I don't know if you know it. It's like meat,
Kebab.
minced meat with
Okay.
parsley and onions.
Oh, okay.
And you cook that in a tomato sauce with potatoes and some onions.
Oh,
and-
batata is
And
potato.
rice on the side.
tomatoes. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Nice.
fair enough.
So, do you have hot food on all for 3 meals? So in India, it's hot food for all 3 meals. But if you look at many of European countries, they have like cold sandwiches for in the morning and afternoon,
Yeah.
only hot food at one time. How about you?
Yeah, we also found that weird when we moved to Europe. We were used
Yeah.
to having the warm meal for lunch.
And like
Uh,
dinner is very minimal.
Very light,
Yeah,
just
very
as
light.
breakfast. And even if you're working, you would also have your lunch with you, and you would warm it up at work. But here they only have sandwiches at work, and yeah, it was a bit strange getting used to it.
Right. Is rice your staple food?
No, I would say bread,
Bread.
the flat bread, very thin, the Lebanese bread basically.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get away. I mean, every time you open any of those food delivery apps, there is one section Lebanese. And very nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I miss that sometimes.
What's your favorite food though?
Favorite dish you mean?
Yeah,
Or-
favorite dish. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't pick. I have way too many. Anytime I miss something a lot.
Yeah. For me, it's kusa.
Kusa.
Kusa Laban.
Oh,
What-
yeah.
what-
Kusa is zucchini,
Okay.
and inside there's like rice and minced beef and tomatoes, and you eat them with yogurt.
Oh, nice.
Inside. Kusa. You write it with a K. Koussa.
Kusa.
Kusa. Yeah.
I'm gonna try sharing the screen. Yeah, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Kusa. Whoa, it looks nice.
So this is like cold out, and you stuff it with rice and stuff.
And it's called kusa, isn't it? Is it kusa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kusa.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the
Kusa.
zucchini.
Kusa is the small zucchini
Oh, okay.
that you
Another-
don't find in
Yeah, I would have
except
mistaken
in
it
like
to be a
Turkish or.
cucumber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is also another classic. This is minced meat with burgul.
What's bulbul?
This one.
With what?
The what's it called? Crushed wheat.
Oh, crushed wheat. I've seen this. Some of the Turkish guys doing this as well.
This is lovely. This is
Yeah.
artistic, actually. To be fair.
Yeah.
What's this
Yeah.
Yeah.
called?
So you make like a
Kibbe.
Yeah, you make a kind of paste out of it, or like dough out of it, and you spread it, and then you fill it also with minced meat and pine nuts and
Onions.
And
Nice.
then they
Yes.
pour
And you put
they
the-
pour
the
some
dough
kind of
on
brown
top.
sauce on it, right? Like what's that?
brown sauce.
Like-
Sometimes you
yeah.
can. Some people put molasses on it.
What's
This is how you make it.
nice.
Yeah, but mainly they eat it with yogurt.
They eat this with yogurt as well?
Yeah.
Dan, so
Yeah.
so your
Yeah.
staple food is
Yeah, because
yogurt,
it's-
not
it's way
not
too
anything
dry
else.
Otherwise,
Like,
No, so to be fair, I think I saw Tina having yogurt sometime back.
Exactly.
So,
Oh
it's
yeah.
revolving around yogurt
No,
pretty
that's
much.
different. That's for a diet.
could be.
But you know, one important thing that Elias did that fucking blew my mind was he had a friend visit him in Glasgow, and he made him get like legit za'atar from Lebanon.
Oh yeah.
And
sorry, what's za'atar though?
exactly,
Good
I thought it was a bag full of weed, you know, that Elias just made his friend smuggle. I was like, dude, what the hell's this? And then he opens it up, and I'm like, Elias, you got scammed. This is oregano. And he's like, no, man, this is not oregano. It's fucking za'atar. I was like, what the hell is za'atar? And then he's like, smell it. I was like, fuck no, I'm not going to smell some shit. And then he's like, okay, wait. He takes like a flat bread and then bakes it a little bit in the oven, then puts a
Wait.
few slices of
Did
cheese.
you have flatbread in Glasgow?
We did I used the tortilla bread.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he put a few slices of cheese and then sprinkled za'atar and then warmed it up again. And then he took it out. I was like, the hell is this pizza looking shit? And then I have a bite of it and I was fucking in heaven, dude. I was like, yo, this is really nice. And I think it was the taste.
tried?
Yeah, it was one of the tastiest things that I ever had. It was so simple. Like just cheese, bread, and this za'atar.
You tried the hobo manouche, because usually we should have proper dough for that, like pizza dough. But we used the tortilla bread because we were like students back then.
Dude, I was sold at the hobo version. If I would have had the real version, I would have gone nuts. Like I was just sold with the hobo version. That was that tasty, man. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I-
You always gotta have your za'atar. I still have that here as well. Anytime someone comes or goes, there's the mandatory za'atar tax.
Yeah, actually, he brought me back from Lebanon. He brought me za'atar. Like he was like one of the most important things to have. I totally agree.
I think in a conversation again, I think I was speaking to JP on the call as well, and then I think it was JP who told me that there was a different strain of the za'atar. You told me it was very different to
Yeah,
what it
that's
is in
true.
the other parts of the Middle East. You told me something
Yeah,
in Lebanon
and-
grows with a
and-
pink flower or something that I don't remember. It was too high.
Yeah, there's different there are different strains, and there are different mixes as well. So different countries, because the za'atar is a mix of different herbs, and different countries have different proportions and other herbs that come into play. So every country has their special mix, and it's really really nice trying them out.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's a good shout out. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That's food then.
Let's move to the genocide now. No. That's a nice way to segue into
Now to
topics,
the
right?
head parts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was appetizers are done. Now we go straight to the main course.